You guys, Justine Lupe is on the pod.
Hi.
Just so you know, there is a pronunciation thing that says Lupe.
I know.
We need to take that down.
I know. I was on a show called Christella.
Yeah.
And every single time, you know, like live audiences, you have to go out and you have to do like a welcome, like hi thing. And they would every single time go, Justine Lupe. And I'd be like, false advertisement.
Does it have like a little bit of a vibe?
Should, because I'm Italian. Like my dad's family was Italian. So it should have that. But it's been like beaten out of it. And now it's just Loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where that pronunciation Google thing comes from.
Yeah, it means wolf in Italian.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were just talking because your cute baby's here.
She is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you emoji her on Instagram or something, right?
Yeah.
But she's not on Instagram.
She's not on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, we put little faces on her and stuff.
You put faces on her. Do they know she's a her?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe. Now they do. It's a girl.
It's a girl. Ella's the cute. Like, I'm obsessed. She's so cute.
She's really
So she's here in studio and like the dad's here. He's pushing the little Duna that you told me I need to open.
Got to do it.
And you took her on this like press tour that you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no other option. So I'm breastfeeding.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically if I keep it for more than like a day, I have high lipase, which is this thing that like breaks down the enzymes in the breast milk so that the baby just doesn't, it tastes so bad. It can taste like mine. I tasted. It tastes like
tell the people. So you saw she was rejecting it what from day one?
No, like the first time I had like frozen a bag. And so the first time that I used it, I warmed up the bag, gave it to her. She like just the bottle, she didn't take it.
Oh, because straight from the boob, it's never bad. You're saying when it's okay.
So when
now
it
I'm
sits,
tracking.
so from the boob she loves.
Okay.
Anything but that she does not prefer. She was spitting it out, and I was like, oh, this is so weird. Like maybe did we wash this bottle well enough? Because like it tastes like soap. I tasted it and it tasted like soap. And then we did like another round and it tasted like soap. And all of my breast milk after like a few days of freezing or like keeping, it turns into shitty tasting milk. So basically I just like had to toss it all. And now I just have to have her with me all the time, which is like great. But it's also like another level of just parenting.
You call the doctor, you said, hey, did you
I looked
Google
it up. I looked it up. I was like, breast
milk
milk tastes like soap. And it's like a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. You know, the thing is with motherhood and babies, so much shit you don't know until you have to know.
Totally. There's like always like another thing that you're like, oh, whoa.
And then you Google that, it comes up. It's like, oh.
Every day there's a Google.
You have a lipase, whatever. I'm never going to get
Yeah. So now I'm like high lipase.
Lipase.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean?
It's a chemical that's in your breast, like that some women have a high amount of in their breast milk. And it just is like, it breaks down the breast milk. Like it like breaks down
but it
the fat.
has the same like
it's nutritionally
the same,
totally fine. It just tastes really bad
when it sits, even if it's cold, even if you.
So I can have it in the fridge for like a day. Wow, I know.
I just had a mom on the pod yesterday that came to New York without the baby. Baby's about the same age as yours, and she is so funny. So she came here. She pumped when she's here and she left milk there, but she didn't bring anything to like freeze it or keep it cold. So she's like, guess what? I drank 10 ounces this morning because I wasn't putting that shit to waste.
Wow. I mean, it does feel like liquid gold. You know, the
yeah.
Like, oh, I don't like all these like freeze. I kept them all.
Yeah.
I kept all like I think I had like 20 bags of breast milk in the freezer. And I was like, I can't like throw it away.
How did you have so much?
Well, I'd been like basically collecting because I had this feeling like I'm going to need this, like because of stuff like this. So I was like basically like hockeying and like pouring it in there every single time. Or like if she didn't like drain my boobs, I'd pump.
So you had so much.
Much. Well, I kept it. And now this is the newest leg of
bathe in it or something.
I'm not doing that. No. Like the like ice. Have you ever seen the like taking it and like rubbing it?
No. Maybe Justine, you saw this because I posted it and I was like, enough. Okay,
doing a facial with the frozen.
Yes, enough because I'm a breastfeeding mom. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's great however you feed your baby, but I connect with it and love it. However, it doesn't fix everything.
Totally.
It doesn't like, and people are gonna say no to this because my baby was born with like his tear ducts like they're still clogged or something.
They didn't produce tears.
Or there's some cloggage that the doctor kept saying up to a year, it's fine.
Okay.
And I was like, but it gets like kind of like goopiness and it's uncomfortable up to a year. I'm like, okay. Then through like Instagram, I found out that like if you just put a little bit of antibiotic like cream, it can resolve. But the doctor was like, no, it's fine. Everyone's like, breast milk, squirt in breast milk. And here I am like,
I know. I did the
poor
same thing with
baby.
baby acne. You know,
did it work though?
No.
No.
It's like really like, you're like, okay, this is like another level. Or I'm like hovering over my baby, like squeezing my
Could you imagine Lenny like being like, what?
Why are you squirting your
Yeah, like he was on, and I swear it made it worse. Like I literally swear. And that's like my level of like, I think it's so great to give your baby this stuff.
But it's not it's not a magical.
And the woman, I thought it was a joke. I was waiting for the punch, that reel that you're talking about.
Psych. We're not that crazy.
Psych, my acne is like, anyway, crazy.
Okay, so I'm doing...
Oh, you're doing something.
This is the thing though.
Yeah.
Not that, but I did do some research and there is freeze drying your breast milk. Have you heard about this?
Does it turn into candy?
No, but it is like a thing where apparently like it takes out like all the water and the water has a lot of that flavor. So it reduces it down to a powder and then I'm going to give it a go. It's totally
you have
crazy.
so much. Because you have so much.
I have so much and I just don't want to waste it. I probably won't be doing this like as
And what, the baby can eat it at some point?
So you rehydrate it and it becomes, so like it's
the
like
milk
a way,
again.
Yeah.
So you're going to try to give it to her or you're going to taste it first again?
I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to probably taste it myself, then give it to her. But I mean, no matter what, it's nutritionally fine.
So now you're not pumping anymore? Because there's no real...
I pump when we do like a day changeover.
I see.
It's
no,
really
it is
like,
wild.
Isn't it wild the way that you're just like a slave to like the
milk,
like
a slave,
all of it. Like
you don't have. By the way, a lot of moms that right. So there's the feeding enslavement. Then there's the bedtime enslavement, and but how's that going?
Windows,
the wake windows.
Oh my god. I like literally when I had the baby, I was like,
I'm not
schedule for a baby. And then I'm like literally, it's my religion. I am addicted.
Like that. At first you're like, fall asleep wherever you go.
Yeah, like, I'm going to be co-sleeping.
And then you look it up and I literally the other day, like he was going to sleep every hour and a half. And then I was like, wake window for 5-month-old. And then I was like, it's 2 hours. It's 2 hours now. Change everything. What have I been doing? And then now I think it fixed everything that I'm keeping him up for 2. No, it's actually insane.
No, I did the same Google search. Well, we didn't sleep at all last night. We like literally, like we tried to put her down at 7, 9:30. She was still like sobbing. We're like, what is happening? Because she's been like in a good phase.
And and then you traveled now and it fucks everything up.
I think it's like either travel or it's like the like regression. There's like always a regression.
Oh, do you have the
It's almost like retrograde
app?
Where they're like, it's, like it's Mercury in retrograde. And you're like, is there ever not a moment where we're in retrograde?
Did you download the Wonder Weeks app?
No.
Okay, download it.
Okay.
It is a subscription. I think you can afford it. It's $35 a year.
Okay.
Because everyone's like, is it worth it? I think it's worth it because you'll be like, why is she crazy? And then you'll look at it and it's like she's in leap 4.
Okay.
So it's kind of nice, just like we have the Mercury.
And it feels like there's never.
True.
Okay, great. So there are some weeks where they're like, things are breezy.
Yeah.
Okay,
it is.
good.
It says like less of a fussy phase kind of vibe.
I can't wait. I mean, truly, it's like.
She looks chill though.
She was, yeah. I hope this isn't going to like, when you have like a good day and you're like, tonight's going to be a nightmare.
Oh, I can't say, like whenever I share anything, I'm like, this is the gods, the sleep gods, the everything gods are going to hear me.
I know, smite me. They're going to smite me for getting all high on myself. You're like, she's been sleeping great. And then like next night, they're like, ha ha.
And I also talk about how, are a lot of your friends like with babies and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. I have a mixed bag, but a lot of friends who are like a couple years ahead of me, few friends with the same age. Yeah. I'm always hitting up Erin, just being like, help. What do I do?
Because she's a little ahead of you.
Yeah. She's like 2 months. She's like you, right?
Yeah. We were the same due date. Yeah, we were the same due date.
Wait, May 29th? May 31st?
Well, wait. Funny you say May 31st. Let's backtrack for a sec. At due dates, we were both May 31st, and then Lenny was like so
Do you know my birthday is May 31st?
Do you know my birthday is May 31st?
Are you kidding?
Yeah, babe. It's a whole like
Wait, are
section
you
of our
kidding?
interview.
Oh my God.
No, that's what I was going to say. So So Lenny wasn't. Lenny was June 2nd. Is Aaron's baby is Noah is May 31st?
She went early. She came early. But
right.
Her due date was May 31st.
Right. That I remember. So mine was late. But our birthdays, Justine and Amanda, were May 31st.
So sick.
Did you look up your sun and
Yeah.
What is it?
I'm okay, so sun.
I just looked it up.
Gemini, moon, Aries, rising Pisces.
Oh wow, okay, so we're
Gemini and Venus. Venus and Gemini.
Oh shit, I don't know that one.
You gotta know. That's your love.
Fuck.
That's your love department.
Okay, so I'm Scorpio moon.
Ooh. Secretive.
No, sorry, not Scorpio. Sagittarius.
Oh, cool.
Friendly. Fun. Cute.
Different story.
Yeah. And because I just learned this a week ago.
And are you're adventurous?
Cancer.
Probably? Rising.
Right. So motherly, they say.
Yeah. You love the home.
Don't you love how like you can really just like love on yourself when it comes to your signs?
Yeah. I'm like,
you're like, it says I'm amazing, beautiful.
You know, Aries moon is really problematic. So
really?
I don't feel too proud of that. Yeah.
Like in what way?
Like, well, so it's your emotional state supposedly, and Aries is like very reactive.
But do you feel Gemini-esque? Like,
yeah,
you're a total Gemini?
You love
Oh my
talking.
God, about to get it tattooed on me.
Truly.
Can't believe I haven't yet.
Yeah, it's like very, very accurate.
Who you are.
Yeah, social, like curious.
Yeah.
Really like mercurial, love talking, love bouncing.
Do you want to know who else has their birthday? Because since I saw, who else? Do you know who else?
Pippa Sue.
Okay, I missed her on my list.
Leah Thompson.
Okay, missed her.
Brooke Shields.
Yes, Brooke Shields.
Thoreau.
He does.
I've gotten deep.
He's kind of okay.
Not Justin Henry, the writer.
Yes, I meant that. Okay. Yeah. That'd be funny.
Justin Thoreau.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. Not true. Who are yours?
Okay, we have Clint Eastwood.
Interesting.
Colin Farrell.
Oh, that I knew. That's
very
cool.
cute.
Hot.
And Mae Whitman that I love.
I do love her too.
And she's so us.
She's so us.
Just the three of us.
I've never met her, but I actually just cold DM'd her and invited her to a party. So
what?
Did you hear this, May? Come to my party. I did.
Did you see it?
I don't know. I haven't done a check-in. It was like truly, I'm hosting.
Wait, I want to be invited.
Come to LA.
I know, I'm not LA.
Yeah, it's in LA. It's a fundraiser that I'm doing with Doan for Planned Parenthood. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm excited.
And she also just had a baby. So it's mothers kind of, or no?
It's not mothers. It's just people that I was like, ooh, I would love, that would be cool.
Oh, should I ping her? Should I be like, May, you want the
Definitely ping her. Tell her that you're coming.
I'll be like, I'm coming. Psych.
Stand her up.
Psych. So obviously everyone knows you were on so many shows like Succession, Marvelous Miss Maisel. Now Nobody Wants This.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this moment, because Succession is fucking huge, Miss Maisel is huge. Like, do you feel like the Nobody Wants This was like this bump even bigger bump that you weren't expecting?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was not expecting it to be this like sensation. I don't know if you can like expect this level of like phenomenon, like it being in the cultural zeitgeist. I didn't expect it with Succession either. I knew like, oh, this is a beautiful show. Like I could see it visually, like I would be watching the monitor and be like, oh, this is like a gorgeous show and it's so smart. But I had no idea it was gonna like blow up in the way that it did. And same with this. I will say, when you have like an infant, it's like you're so disassociated from like the world that I'd say like this moment and like coming out here and doing like some press stuff is like the first time that I've like really, or like going to parties. Like there's been like a few things that I've gone to for PR.
Is it interesting though, like explain to us the biz that like, is stuff happening now just because you were giving birth when it came out?
Well,
or is it happening now?
So basically like... Megan's back there. She knows the whole.
Yeah.
So basically, before I had the baby, I was like, I'm not going to do PR before. Like, and Kristen was like, I've got this. Adam was like, I've got this.
Yeah.
I got it. And everybody was like, kind of okay with that. Like, my agents were like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like, and
because you were what, a minute after birth, or
I would have been like, it was coming out. Like all the lead time for PR would have been while I was like 9 months, 8 months pregnant, and then it would have been like right when. Like a month after I have the baby. So I was super duper postpartum. And everyone was kind of like nobody expected the show to be what it was.
Right.
So it was also like the moment that it kind of like hit the way it did, like everybody called and was like, you really do actually need
Yeah,
to get
you
PR.
should probably.
That's why I was like, okay.
And also now we know there's going to be a season 2.
Yeah.
Did you know like way?
No. I think I knew. I think I had a good feeling about it when we started. Like I did one day of press for Netflix before the show came out, like a junket. And they were so excited about just internally, like all the people who work at Netflix really loved watching the show. And my agents had watched it and they were like, oh, it's really cute. So I kind of had a good feeling, but I think it wasn't until like the numbers came in.
Yeah.
Like, oh, whoa. Like, I just didn't know. I don't think anyone could have called like that it was.
I remember like I don't love watching screeners because I like to watch it with everyone. Mm-hmm. But I remember like I was talking to some press people and they were like, Amanda, this is the best show of the year. And
so you watched it before?
So I watched when Erin and Sarah came on the pod. I was like, I want to watch a few episodes before. And I was like, this is going to be huge. And it was before everyone watched it. And I was like, Erin, this is like award. I was like, this is Emmy winning. You're going to be in the category with the bear. How are we going to move them out of comedy? I was like already there. And then, but I even wasn't expecting like, you know how pop culture does take it to a different level of like,
oh my God,
the Adam Brody obsession, the fact that everyone took it so like personally in terms of like the romance stuff.
Totally. And there were all these like, I mean, to speak to the Adam Brody, like the fact that he created the hot rabbi, like the hot thing, rabbi, which is going to be like
which first of all isn't a thing. As a Jew, it's not a thing. You know what I mean?
Now
like he made it a thing.
Now it might.
Yeah, but now it's a thing. Now I went on Yom Kippur and I was like, are there any hot rabbis here? It's like he's cute, but like literally that was in my head. Like
totally, it like opens up. It's like quantum physics where you like see the thing that you didn't know was there because you know about it now.
Totally.
And then what was the other thing?
And also Joanne and how she is like a lot of girls see that. The too much versus
totally. Totally.
You're not enough. I saw that in a lot of
places. And the like dating in your early 40s thing, which like I have so many friends that are in their late 30s and they haven't met their partner yet. Yeah. And it's cool to watch like a different version of that rom-com.
Yeah.
Where like people are like more kind of like realized versions of themselves. And
also not the version of like, it's still fun dating, even though the age is not 20s, and it's not like when are we getting married, when are we having a baby kind of vibe.
No, they're not even talking.
They're not even talking about it.
It's still like hot. And
love it.
Like we're just going out and like making out in front of a movie theater.
Yeah,
like,
I love it.
Yeah, it's so hot.
If you're like 3 out of 10 Americans who made a New Year's resolution last year, you want to start 2025 right. You might want to drink more mindfully this year with Seedlip non-alcoholic spirits. Seedlip is a non-alcoholic spirit crafted from unique blend of botanicals and spices, and it's used in your favorite non-alcoholic cocktail. Seedlip comes in 4 flavors that are tasty, have no added sugar, no calories, but still have all the flavor. What I really like about Seedlip is that it's not meant to recreate a non-alcoholic gin or vodka or tequila, but it has its own original and distinct flavor. I include Seedlip in my rotation. It's been an excellent way to enjoy a great tasting, elevated cocktail with friends with none of the alcohol. They have in-house developed recipes. They really piqued my interest. They're spicy. They have citrus notes. They have bitter, sweet, and smooth. The trifecta is all there. And you can learn how to craft them at home. You can make an espresso martini. Especially with the new year, you can embrace new goals and mix up different ways to enjoy a cocktail with Seedlip. This is a whole new way of drinking. Ask your local bartender to shake up a Seedlip cocktail for you or craft your own Seedlip cocktail at home. Kick off the new year right by visiting seedlipdrinks.com and use the code notskinny to get 20% off your purchase. That's Seedlipdrinks, SEEDLIPDRINKS.com. Use code notskinny for 20% off your next purchase. Visit www.seedlipdrinks.com to learn more. That's seedlipdrinks.com. Promotion valid until January 15th, 2025. You guys, the holidays are now officially over, which I am kind of happy about. I love getting back into a routine. Kind of love it, okay? But there is something a little just like, we need something. We need something to spice up this time. And if you don't know about Quince, go to Quince right now. But seriously, you guys, I have a Quince actually problem. I got a new bed from Quince. Wait, do you die? I bought a new bed. I've had the same bed forever. I was looking for a new, just like simple, upholstered, like linen kind of vibe. And I typed that into Google and I had like a few options come up. And then Quince came up, more affordable, And that's what they do. They have the same things that like designer places and certain retailers have, but they don't have the upcharge of having like a store. So I literally just got a bed from Quince, okay? I saw this sheepskin throw that looked really good. I got that too. And my family's like, where'd you get this? I'm like, Quince. And they're like, I thought they just have clothes because they're so known for their cashmere sweaters that like start at $50 and their linens and their silks. But like they also have literally furniture. They have suitcases. My sister just got a suitcase. They just have everything you're looking for. So treat yourself this winter without the luxury price tag. Go to quince.com/notskinny for 365-day returns plus free shipping on your order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/notskinny to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/notskinny. I posted on Instagram that this winter has been the worst winter in the history of winters, or at least in the past few winters. Like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like sickness was everywhere. And I was so dependent on this product that I want to share with you. It's called Navage, okay? And it was just so great because they have a baby aspirator and inhaler, and I finished it, you guys, during the sick season, and I need to stock up again. So the Navage baby aspirator is really a game changer because they have a gentle suction that is so effective at clearing mucus, but I also really loved their baby inhaler. So it makes it so easy. It's literally like an inhaler in a bottle and has a quiet, continuous mist of drug-free, sterile saline solution to break down the congestion. It moisturizes their pathways, and it really soothes the baby's upper respiratory system. And it works so well in tandem with the aspirator to loosen any mucus before removing it. You can use it with or without a mask that it comes with. We kind of used it without just so Lenny won't start biting it since he is teething and wants to eat everything. So you guys, this is a recommendation from me to you. Parenting is hard. Make life easier. Order the new Navage baby aspirator and inhaler today. You're going to thank me for this tip. My listeners can order directly from my exclusive URL, navage.com/notskinny, and you can order both products and get full product details there. Again, that's Navage, NAVAGE.com/notskinny. Don't wait. Order now at navage.com/notskinny.
So, Morgan.
Yeah.
When you got the audition for it, or was it like what was?
Yeah, I auditioned.
You auditioned.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you know to like? Were you kind of basing it off Sarah? It's not really Sarah-esque.
So it's so funny because like she hates the fact that anyone ever says that it's like Sarah, but I'm like, babe, I definitely listen to your podcast a lot to get like a little bit. I mean, like there's just like a certain like way that she carries herself.
Yeah.
Like a little bit, it's like a little, it is something.
Yeah,
know?
it is something.
So it's not exactly Sarah, but I knew of them. I knew of Aaron and Sarah, but I didn't know the voices, but I got the audition and I read the sides and I like immediately like heard the woman. Like I was like, oh, I know this person. I know this voice. And then I was like, it felt very autobiographical. So I was like, I'm going to like get into listening to their podcast and like and I was like, oh, this is like exactly what I read.
That's so fun probably to have like
yeah.
Because like so many characters are completely made up. It's like what you see on the paper, and here you have like the podcast, the sisters,
the mom, like Lynn, the whole world.
Thing.
Yeah, it was fun. And I like dressed like Sarah for the audition. I like wore like a black turtleneck, like a favorite daughter, like black.
Wait, did you really wear a favorite daughter?
Girl. Yeah.
Did they know?
No, I didn't go in there and like I that would have been too like much. I truly bribed. I'm like, guys, I bought your outfit.
Yeah.
But I high-waisted pants, like a belt, like black boots.
Yeah.
Like I did the whole thing. Also, I was like 1 month pregnant. And as the show went on, I like felt like I was like a boat like drifting away from like Sarah's body. Like,
sorry, Sarah.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not
a disservice to your body. I'm so sorry, slandering your body.
No one could tell. I mean,
they did a good job.
Like, I feel like now if you say like, could we notice that you were like at different angles and stuff, or no? Like,
yeah,
now in retrospect.
For sure. I mean, it's like now, there's so many, like everybody watches the show so many times that they are all like seeking out the little things. So like people like, like look at like, what did they text each other? Like, and one of the things that people are looking for now is like the moments where you can see that I'm pregnant.
So you auditioned at 1 month pregnant.
Somewhere around there. It was like 1, 2. And then like we started at like 3.
Was it crossing your mind like, what if they start shooting and I'm 7 months pregnant? Like, how do you do that as an actor?
I mean, a lot of it was like, please, dear God, let me not show. I'm tall. Like let's just like, because the other thing is you're like, I found out I got the job. I knew I was pregnant, but I also was like, I'm in the very early stage of pregnancy where it's like a vulnerable time to be sharing with people that you're pregnant. Yeah. So it was like, there was like this weird thing where it was like a responsibility to my privacy and also a responsibility to the show. And I kind of went with myself over the show.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I guess we're just going to have to figure this out. But I was like, okay, it's going to be like a 3-month shoot. I'll be done by the time that I'm like really showing. So I did do a lot of thinking about it, but it also was like a little bit nerve wracking. And I was
right. Cause you're like, am I going to pop?
Am I going to be doing a disservice to the show by being like, you know, in the last part of it, maybe like look pregnant. But you know, the more you learn about like, again, Google, like who's been pregnant.
Oh my God, wow, so many.
Like everybody is
so many. And the bags that they put and the whatever, totally. Like.
Kristen told me that she like filmed a sex scene with, I believe, Adam Brody when she was like 7 months pregnant.
Wow.
So it's like, there's much more, you know, like.
And then people misunderstood you, as the internet does, because you had mentioned something about how great everyone was about.
Yeah, so they were
hiding your pregnant or something.
So there was like a narrative of that I hid my friend. I hid my pregnancy from everyone the whole time, and that was just like not the case. So it was like, oh, she hid it through the whole thing, and like reveal. It wasn't that. It was just basically I was saying in the very beginning of the process, like people didn't know that I was pregnant because it was in that like window where like there's like 30% chance of you having a miscarriage.
Yeah.
And so I kept it private until I knew that it was like pretty safe.
And were you already filming?
Yeah. Wow. So the first part of it, the reason why this came up was the first part of it, we'd be like filming and like they put me in these like tiny little like Gucci skirt. The poor Nagar, like the first our costume designer, the first fitting that she did, she had me in like little bitty, like I was in shape when I got the part, and she had me in these like little tiny like mini skirts and like midriff, and I was like sitting there like hot flashing through them being like, this poor woman, like all this work is going to go down the drain in like a few weeks. But yeah, while we were on set, there was like one moment especially stood out. It was like 2 a.m. and like they had put me in this little tiny like jean skirt, and they'd already had to cut the back because I was like too big to fit in it. And then in between takes, I'd be like unbuttoning it and like unzipping it and like letting my tummy out. And then like when the camera wasn't on me, and everybody was sitting there going like, what is going on with Justine? Like she's like falling apart. Like she's truly like just collapsing as this night goes on. Because they, at that point, didn't know I was pregnant.
And also, it's hard to even be shooting until 2 a.m. when you're pregnant at the beginning.
Oh my
like,
God.
The first trimester is gross, as I recall.
Yeah. I was just at the tail end. It wasn't gross. I was exhausted in a way that I've never felt.
Right.
I felt like I had like mono or something.
Right.
I was just like, oh, this is what actual exhaustion feels like.
Right.
Like, and then I didn't have any morning sickness, thank goodness. And then like it's this magical thing like when you hit the second trimester. I don't know how it was for you, but for me it was like, oh, everything better. Like,
yeah.
And you're like, oh, I have more energy.
Yeah.
So most of the show, thank goodness, took place in that pocket of the second trimester, which was like, so basically just the front end was like intersecting with the show, or like the very back end of the first. And then I went in.
It's so cool that it's like this story of with your baby. You know, alongside the show, right?
I know.
Like I got it when I was 1 month pregnant. Then we shot it.
I know. She was with me the whole time. I know. It's cool. I like had just done, you know, Succession the last season. Sarah Snook was pregnant. And so I watched her go through the whole thing. And I saw her like doing like the most incredible work pregnant. Like she was also like vomiting out of like transpo vans because she was like so, you know, sick and constantly like napping on some like surface, but she just was doing such amazing stuff. And I think that kind of like helped my mentality going into it. I was like, oh, okay, like this is like,
because women can do everything, you guys.
Totally. Literally. And also we're like in the most creative, I mean, like we're literally creating like at the heights of creation, like creating a baby. And I mean, not to sound too woo-woo, we've already done our astrology. I do feel like there's like something to like that creative energy that like can be applied to the work. And you're like, so there was something about that where I was like, oh, this is like, I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in like a good headspace and it kind of like contributed.
And you know
like,
what? It might have also, because a lot of people, when I was still working too, like, how are you doing? And then I was like, you want me to sit at home and be like, you know, like,
yeah.
Then I'll like go crazy. I'll probably feel all these symptoms, like keeping busy.
Get neurotic. Like, truly, once I wrapped is like, he could attest to it. I was the most neurotic. Like the last few months, I was like truly bonkers.
You had the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
What were you going crazy about?
Well, she was breech. Yeah. So she was breech. And that was like, I mean.
What happened in the end?
Well, I did the ECV. Do you know what that is?
When they turn her inside?
Yeah.
That's
they like
crazy.
take your belly from the outside.
That's so scary.
And push down and you just see like he was watching like her whole form.
So
just,
it
like,
worked.
Shifts around and then it plops. It worked for me. Thank goodness. It doesn't. And what's so funny is then you get into the birth and you're like, oh my God, like everything just goes out the window. There's like, it's the Wild West. Like, like all the like kind of ideas. When I found out she was breech, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to miss out on like my husband and I like connecting through the labor. I'm not even kidding. I was like, that was the thing I was most concerned about is I was like, I just like wanted to like really like go through the labor together and like connect and like fast cut, like hard cut to the labor where I'm like literally like he's just like just a sound like somewhere off in the distance. Like, no, like you're on another like planet. Like, I'm like, are you here? I don't know. Like
what do you think about Erin doing the like
home birth?
Right. Could
God,
you ever?
If you can do it, great. I mean, it wouldn't have worked out for me because she was sunny side and
sunny side
back labor, like flipped the wrong way. I immediately went into like crazy, like 2-minute apart contractions, like super painful, like no like foreplay at all. And then I did 8 hours like that. And they checked me and they were like, oh, she's sunny side and you're 2.5 centimeters dilated. And I was like, and I will be taking the epidural. Please.
Thank you.
Bring me the epidural immediately.
Well, you had that little bit where you were like, maybe I won't.
Totally. Yeah. Like a part of me where I was like, I'm going to try. Like, I'm not going to let my ego get in the way.
They probably make so much fun of us, just like the manicure ladies do, you know? Yeah. I feel like they're like, she thinks she's going to.
Yeah. No, so many people are like, okay, have fun with that, babe. But then I had like so many friends who did it without. I have one of my best friends had a baby without an epidural. She did it home birth. Like I have another friend who did Erin did one.
Right.
Another friend who just has had 2 babies unmedicated. So I thought like maybe there was a way, but then I got the epidural and I was like, oh my goodness, like this is God's gift to humanity, to Western medicine. Like, I mean, I would have loved to do it without it, but I also was just like, this is amazing. And I could really enjoyed the second half of my,
the pushing?
Yeah. I like the pushing and like, I think like the epidural just like everything felt so much better. I felt like I've been like taken out of the depths of hell and like put on like a cloud. And I was just like, oh, everything's fine now. Like her heartbeat would come in and out of being like just that. And I was like really calm about it. I don't know if the physical calm
that's
like
epidural, I think, by the way. It happened with my baby too. And that's the only scary part is that.
Like, am I knocked out of like understanding what's happening?
No, I literally started flipping me over and I was like, am I okay? But then like, totally. That's the weird thing about this thing is that although you're in a hospital and like some drugs and whatever, it's still so primal that like flipping me over helped the heartbeat.
Oh, totally.
And then they're like, fine. They're like,
she's like finding her way through there.
Yeah.
But what was amazing is she like basically had done 8 hours and then like the epidural took me in like 3.5 hours from 2.5 to 9 centimeters. So it was like a very quick labor.
Wow.
They turned it off and I did like 25 minutes of pushing.
Amazing.
It was kind of like a dream scenario. I mean, like, I think it's so cool when people can do it unmedicated and like, you know, seeing those pictures of Erin and like hearing her story.
That's what I told Erin on the pod. I was like, you did it for the pictures.
She looks so
like,
cute.
I was like, it's everyone does it for the pictures.
She did say, oh my God, if you had brought a camera into my birth, like I would have been like, please burn those photos. We took like 3 photos, like I literally.
Do you have the photo when the baby's born? Like,
yeah, and
it's not cute.
And my partner was like, you look like Chris Farley. Like Chris Farley's alive and well. I was like, I do. I like truly had been like pumped with like so much like liquid that my whole like face. I was like, thank God we didn't hire a photographer to come and do this because I would have been like,
imagine?
Please burn them all, burn them all.
Start offering this at the hospital. Did they offer this to you at your hospital? New York, they came around. They're like, so would you like a photographer? I'm like, are you okay? So it's a new thing. They want to charge you for it. They literally offer you in the hospital. We'll bring a photographer and we'll just add it to the bill.
I wonder how often people are like, yeah.
I mean, it does sound like a smart...
Is it like the smartest thing, or are people in that state, they're just like, fuck off?
They're literally... I felt like, except I'm too nice. And I'm like, I don't know, like, come back to you. And I don't know.
How did your labor go? Was it...
It was good, aside from that moment that, like, they tell you during that epidural, like, this might cause, and you're like, okay. And then it caused. Yeah, and I'm like, and I felt so guilty in that moment. I was like, should have done a home birth, you know?
I mean, yeah, I know the feeling.
I had that moment of like, I just caused this. I took this for the pain and this is what happened. But it's such a common thing.
I feel like the heart rate has got to be like, I mean, there's no such, the baby's being like shoved through all kinds of things. Like, I'm like,
I think I was just scared it would be, I think the fear in that moment is not a life or death. It's just, it could go from this to like an emergency C-section.
Totally.
And like that just causes like anxiety. You know what I mean? But it's still like a normal thing.
Yeah, totally.
And how are you feeling now? 3 months in.
I feel, my body feels good. It doesn't feel like my body quite yet. Like, it's still like not completely like
healed.
Yeah, but it's also just like I will say I'm more like, I'm just like, oh my God, you're amazing.
Yeah, you
like,
did
the
it.
fact that it did that, it's just so crazy. And mostly now I'm like, feel like the suffering is like all like mental, like sleep deprivation stuff, where you're just like,
there's a meme that's like, if we got the 8 hours of sleep, then it would all be good.
Yeah.
But I feel like she sleeps well and you're not saying it. I have a feeling. I've seen the baby.
Okay, so this is the thing.
She's not sleeping good? No?
No, she's really not. We just lived through like truly, like it felt like a war last night. We're like,
yeah, but she also was on a plane and she came here. Like, it's a lot.
Totally. I mean, I feel like her little bod. I'm like, it's hard on our bodies, like this poor baby. But she,
I think she's just happy to be with you.
I really like that.
But it's true. But it is true.
I'm going with that as like that she's like, it's all fine and it's actually good for her to be like out in the like seeing new things, like, experiencing like new environments.
Yeah.
But, I will say she did really, really good for like months. She's done well. Like we're not like, I think that's why these nights where you're like hit with just like the regression or whatever it is that's happening.
Yeah.
You're like, wait. No, we had it. Like we had something going.
Always you had it.
Yeah.
Lenny had it a week ago and his teeth came in.
Yeah.
Like that's what happens. He was good. I was like, he had it. I posted. I told the sleep gods. I was like, everyone, he's sleeping through the night. And then a day after a week of enjoying it, I was like, his little teeth are coming in. Oh, fuck. And then like literally you're fucked again.
Everybody says it's like you can kind of count on whatever you're going through. Like you got 2 weeks of it, whether it's good or bad. So like don't get too smug when it's like great.
Yeah.
Don't get too low when it's like shit.
Right.
Because it's going to change like the next day.
It's going to change.
I'm literally so into Fresh Direct. I even just searched if they have like a promo code for the week because I used my own already. Fresh Direct, like, do you need groceries on a hustle? You're like running out of eggs, running out of everything. Like Fresh Direct, you can get same day deliveries. They also have express deliveries. And also, like it sounds, it's fresh. It's farm to kitchen. It's food sourced directly from farmers, fishermen, ranchers, delivered straight to your door. I save so much time every week because I don't have to sift through sad-looking produce. Fresh Direct says they're 7 days fresher than the grocery store. And I've really seen a huge difference. And the best part is that Fresh Direct is really the only replacement for a grocery store. That's a legit grocery store. They offer a wide range of products from pantry staples to specialty items, all at great prices. I just ordered like a rotisserie chicken. Okay, you can literally get anything on Fresh Direct. And I love using it when I'm in a jiff as well. Like ran out of milk, ran out of eggs, because you get that same day delivery that not many grocery delivery services have. For over 20 years, Fresh Direct has been delivering the freshest fruits, vegetables, and meats to the tri-state area. Don't take my word for it. Try it to believe it. With $50 off your first order, go to freshdirect.com. Use my code notskinny. That's freshdirect.com. Use code notskinny for new customers to save $50 on their first order. That's like 5 rotisserie chickens. Terms and restrictions apply. See site for deets. I remember when my sister Ariel recently had like a stomach situation and she was like, do you have a probiotic in your house? And I was like, yeah, I have seed. And she's like, oh my God, I'm coming to get some. And she literally took it from me and I was like, calm down because like I don't mess around with my seed. Okay. If you guys haven't tried DSO1 before, then where have you been? Because this is the best probiotic on the market. And if you have bloating or just like we all know like hot girls have gut issues, you know what I mean? And it could just put such a damper on your life because I know for me, like when my gut isn't good, I'm not good. So I want to make sure that I'm setting up my gut for success every single morning by giving it the stuff that it needs, like probiotics and prebiotics and all the stuff that DSO1 has inside, which is a lot. It has clinically and scientifically studied strains that support whole body benefits, including your gut health, your skin health, your heart health, your immune health, your gut barrier, your gut microbiome balance, and micronutrients. 2 capsules a day, you guys. That's all you need. So listen, for anyone with a gut, let's put it like this. For anyone with a gut, you need to fit seed into your daily routine. Especially, it's the new year. New year, new you, new probiotic. Get ahead of the new year with a new routine that helps you now by going to seed.com/notskinny. Use code 25skinny to get 25% off your first month. That's 25% off your first month of Seed's DSO1 Daily Synbiotic at seed.com/skinny with code 25skinny.
Do you have any like foresight into when you're going to start shooting for season 2?
I think we're pushing for late January, early February. Yeah.
I'm so happy about this timeline.
Me too.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, I'm excited for the timeline. I feel like I'm going to get, because I don't have to work like for now, like it's going to be like 6 months where I don't have to go to work. And then because August is when I had her and then we'll start in January. So it's like that she'll be like about 6 months, early February, which feels like a nice amount of time to just be with her. She's a Leo.
Okay.
August 10th. Yeah, I know. But she's got a lot of like really cool, chill stuff like going on in the other parts of her.
No, Leo's cool. They're strong personalities.
Yeah, I love Leos, but I'm also like, whew, okay, they're like, strong.
Well, my big boy is a Leo, and my baby is a Gemini. With Gemini men.
Oh, Gemini man.
A Gemini man. I don't know. Colin Farrell though kind of changed the game. I only had like Trump and Kanye West as an example.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh God.
So now
Gemini man, we have.
But I didn't know about Colin Farrell till today, till I looked it up.
Yeah,
so I'm happy we have him.
Me too.
Thanks, Colin.
Are you watching Penguin?
I'm not, but I still love him. Are you watching it?
Yeah, we
But
watched.
It's good.
Yeah, it's like incredible the prosthetic situation going on there. Like you truly can only tell it's him through the eyes.
But is that why we're watching?
Him and Kristen Milioti.
Yeah, she's so great.
She's so good, and I was like, and I'm like, I have to watch for her. It's not really my like genre,
right? That's what I'm wondering for me.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know your taste, but I do feel like it may not be your genre. But like maybe you could just like watch a few episodes just to see them like throwing down.
He's so cute. Yeah. I want to ask you more about working with Chris and Adam. First of all, were you an OC girl? No.
I'd like watched a handful of episodes. I knew enough to have crushes on him and Ben McKenzie. Like I was involved in like I could touch it, but I wasn't like someone who's sitting there like binging on
obsessed. No. So were you excited though at the prospect of like working with him?
Yeah, it's so funny. When one of my first jobs was a show called Southland. Do you remember this show?
I remember hearing of it.
So Ben McKenzie was the lead of it.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
It was like a cop show or something?
Yeah. And like I got this job like right out of school where I played like a girl who was like in bed with Ben McKenzie who's like having like a thing with, and then like someone comes home and I like have to jump out a window. Like I'm having like some sort of like fling affair with him. And I remember laying in that bed and like kissing him and being like, oh my God, like 12-year-old me would be like freaking out right now. But with Adam, it was more of just like, oh, I've heard he's like such a nice guy.
Yeah.
It was less of like, oh, my crush, or like,
right.
It was more just like, oh, I've heard Adam's like great, and I'm really excited to work.
I need you to tell me if these rumors, because TikTok is wild, right? Like, we can't believe everything that they say.
Yeah.
But there is somewhere that's saying that like the storyline with you and loser brother, sibling, is gonna kind of end or something.
I think Aaron like went and said that.
Oh, okay. So it's not.
It's like coming from like her being like, we're not gonna.
Oh, so maybe they don't want it to. Okay. First of all, there's literally a Vogue article that was like, no, not all of us want.
Yeah.
Morgan.
That was me and Tim.
Right.
That was Tim and I. Yeah.
Right. Then not everybody wants you guys to hook up.
Well, I mean,
I agree.
For me, I'm like, isn't there so much more fun to be mined out of like us becoming these like weird friends than there is to like destroying a family?
Right.
Like,
that wasn't the vibe.
It's not like fun.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's the comedy and like?
So maybe that's why she said that.
Child involved, like just like tearing apart like a home.
Yeah. So maybe that's why Erin said it, because like she didn't.
She said it before.
Huh.
She said it before, or else I would have been like way more diplomatic about being.
You would have been like, great, I'm into affairs.
I don't think I would have said that, obviously. But I think I would have been like, whatever the writers decide to do, like, we're okay with. But I definitely like, we went into the writer's room and like had a chat. And like, one of the things that I went into there, like they were like, we want to hear your feedback. And one of the things that I said was, I was like, I think there's a lot to be mined out of these two being pals.
Yeah.
And they had already.
Like, and you have such good chemistry together. I've also seen in interviews and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I loved him.
Yeah.
The best. He's become like a really, really, really good friend.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. And working with Kristen, did you know her before?
No, I didn't know her before. I like, knew a lot about her work. She's like the most like sparkly person. But no, we hadn't met, and like she was so sweet. The first like my screen test, she like we were on like a couch like this, and she like hopped over the couch, and she's like, big fan of your work. I was like, and you're the sweetest thing. Immediately was like, do you want a hug? Do you need what do you need? What can I help you with? Like, do you want to run them? Like, she was did a really good job of making it feel like we knew each other. Right? Yeah. So that was a good way to start.
You were so good in this.
Thank you.
I were like, now it makes me want to watch it again, like after meeting you.
Thank you. That's so
like
neat.
I'm like, I want to watch it again because I love.
It's easy.
It's an easy watch. Yeah, go do it, bitch.
Yeah.
What would you say is like something that you are like Morgan in? Because you're obviously not like her.
I think I give unsolicited advice in the way that she does. Like I always have like some like. I don't have casual friendships. Like all of my friends are my like friends. Yeah. And so I think I have like a high level of investment in their like well-being and them making like good decisions. And so I've like had to learn to like fuck off a little bit when I'm like overstepping my boundary in terms of giving my opinion about what's going on or like being like taking care of them. I've had to like learn when it's none of my business and like, because when you have like friends who have like crappy boyfriends or like dating someone that you're like, ooh, why are you doing that? Or like I feel like it was for a long time my instinct was to like protect them.
Yeah. And like, now you don't do that. Well, you know what happens? Then they don't tell you stuff.
Yes.
And then the friends don't tell you, kind of like you don't tell your mom when your mom turns on if you have a shitty boyfriend. But yeah, I have a friend too that stopped telling me stuff, and I was like,
this is why
aren't you telling me? And then I realized, oh, because I'm like a hater.
And then you're like, okay, I get like honestly, like every relationship I think does serve a purpose. So I've kind of like pulled back and been like, okay, they've got to do their thing, and if they want to come to me. But it is even then, even when they come to you, it's like hard to like, because if you give like, yeah, he's a dick, and then they're like back on the train with that person, then they're like, oh, I know that my friend thinks that he's like an asshole,
I love about Morgan that because you asked me, like Justine asked me what I love about Morgan, so I'm gonna tell you.
Please tell me.
I love that she can like sound like a basic bitch, but she's smart.
Yeah,
that's what I love.
I'm sorry, but like Sarah's really smart, and I think she kind of like in moments like she can like people would look at her and be like, oh, that's like
underestimate.
Yeah. And she's got like a voice that's like a little like California girl like and she's really
I mean, they're smart ass business women.
Yeah.
Not
like
only
they get stuff done.
Yeah. So I love that. But you're not like that. Like, you don't have that kind of like you really put it on for Morgan.
I did. Yeah, I did.
That's so cool.
I feel like, I was talking to a friend and she's like, I'm always like having to play. She's playing an astronaut right now, like with Emmy Rossum in this play Walden, which everybody should go see. But she was like, I'm always having to play like these like really smart people. And it's like, oh my God, this is like heavy. And like, I'm just like constantly like researching. And I was like, yeah, it's like pretty nice. Like always getting to play the person who doesn't have to do.
You kind of have that because in Succession too.
I mean, there's just, I'm like, I'm not like
they're light.
Wheel is smart, but it's not like she's like, sitting there like she's not academic. Like she's not sitting like it's not like I had to do like a ton of dramaturgy and like really get into the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah.
So
what did you play on in Frances Ha? Because I saw you were in that and I watched that movie years ago and I was trying to remember.
I play Adam Driver's character brings home a girl and like the next day they have like a breakfast where I'm like sitting with Greta Gerwig and I'm like how old are you? Oh, like that's so weird because you look like way older than that. Like I just like this kind of like.
So you do have that.
Yeah,
that
there's
thing.
like something about like someone who's like unfiltered and kind of like half like aware, half unaware. Like I played it. Yeah,
that's so
I have
cool.
fun with that.
By the way, she went to Juilliard, everyone, which is like the actors, like the pinnacle of like acting school.
It's one of them. It's one of the it's like Yale and NYU.
How did you get in? What do you have to do to get into Juilliard?
You have to do. Okay, so I had to prepare 4 monologues. 2 I did there's a first round. I did 2 monologues in the first round, and they do a callback where they have you do an additional 2 monologues, and then there's a third callback.
And they're all like plays, like Shakespeare stuff?
Yeah, so I did like...
It's not like cool movie stuff. It's like play stuff.
Cool.
No.
You know what?
I bet
you could do...
What did you do? Like,
you have to do one classical, one contemporary.
Oh, okay.
For your contemporary, you could
do like
whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
But I did one like a play by Scott Organ called China, I believe, and it was like a woman telling another woman like that she's breaking the dress code at work, where she's like, "Your boobs are all jiggly." Like it was like kind of like a Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like, woman like critiquing another woman's like work, like an HR kind of person. And then I did Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, which was fun.
Oh, did you think you were gonna get in?
No, God, no.
Because like 10 people get in a year or something fucking
it's like
crazy.
16, yeah.
And I know this, you guys, because people that follow me closely know that I lied that I went there.
No, you did not.
In Israel, though. So they don't know.
I didn't hear about that.
I just did.
You just told everybody in Israel?
No, just the agency that I wanted to get into.
That's so awesome.
I was like, Juilliard, you know it? Because
That's so sick.
It was crazy.
You're like, you can't check this.
You can't check this. Do you have international calling? Don't think so. Yeah. Sorry.
So then you have to go
because I checked, so I knew it. I remember being like, "That's crazy." They'll believe it anyway.
They're like, they'll buy it. I give the vibes, so that's.
I give the vibes. Yeah.
So then I did 2 more monologues, and then there's a third callback where I had to sing a song, which I sang.
Do you have?
So crazy.
Are you a singer too?
No, I'm not. It was like a nightmare, and I had to sing a song, and I picked Fever. There's like
Fever.
Yeah. Like 18-year-old, 17-year-old me. And I remember like coming up to like the desk with like the judges and them being like, "Can you please step back? Like you're getting a little too close."
No, stop.
I was like trying to like do like a whole like seduction
thing.
And they were like
were you thinking, wait, what's that other song from
God.
No, from where she comes to the judges.
What are you
with the leotard, not Fever. Fame.
Oh, Fame. No.
Were you trying to do a Fame moment?
I was trying to do a Fame moment. I've never seen Fame, so this was it was just pure instinct.
No.
And they're like, "Please back away." Like,
no,
too close.
Can't.
So I did that.
You don't have to have a good voice. You just have to like deliver it.
I think it was just like, are you willing to do this? I mean, ideally, I think they would have liked my class. Like, truly, like, are incredible. Danielle Brooks, who just did The Color Purple. Jakina Calacango, who's like a crazy Broadway star. Gail Rankin, who just did Cabaret. Like, incredible singers in my class.
Wow.
So I think they would have hoped that I could sing,
and
but I just
4-year conservatory.
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
So you lived in New York. Did you love it?
I really loved. I loved living in New York when I lived in Brooklyn. I'm not like really a Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
I did Manhattan all through school, but it was all Upper West Side or like in the Heights.
Uh-huh.
And then once I graduated, I like kind of went back and forth between LA, but all the staying that I did was in Brooklyn.
Like what? Like Williamsburg vibes?
I lived in Williamsburg for a little while with my friend. We like were roommates in like a bed together. We did that for like probably like 6 months. Then I did Fort Greene. That was like the main place that I lived, was like right off the parking Fort Greene, which was like a dream.
Oh, wow.
And then Greenpoint I did. Like,
and I read that you like went to the JCC when you were younger, even though you're not Jewish.
Yeah. Yeah. My parents were like, well, first of all, they had an amazing theater program for like, 6-year-olds.
But you showed really interest, obviously, at that age.
Yeah, I was obsessed with it. And so like I went to preschool at JCC just because it was like the best. And my parents were also like, they are non-denominational. So they were like playing us like Joseph Campbell tapes when we were younger, like myth and mysticism type thing. And like a little bit, I would like go to Young Life, like church groups sometimes. And
you were all over the place.
To the JCC. I think they were kind of like, whatever, let her learn everything.
Yeah.
And then like, as I got out of preschool into like
that's where it gets more
elementary school, I would go to like the summer camps at the JCC, which were like all theater based summer camps.
So you always knew you were going to do this.
Yeah. I mean, I always wanted to do it. I think that if I'm not one of those people who's like, there's nothing else I could possibly do. And if this didn't work out, I would like, I'm sure if this didn't work out for a few years, I'd be like, we need to get another job. Like I couldn't sit through the discomfort.
But it did work out.
It worked out.
And you're so good. No, seriously, you're so good.
It could all take a real turn.
No.
There's going to be a moment where you like look back on it and you're like, remember when she said that, it worked out? I'm like, ooh, look where it's gone.
It's just the beginning.
Thank you. I hope so.
If you guys didn't watch Nobody Wants This, go binge it now. If you watched it, binge it for the second time. And Justine, you're literally such a gem.
Oh, thank
so good
you.
To meet you.
I'm so happy to be doing this. This is awesome.
Yes.
You're such a sensation.
Shut up.
You are.
Come
on, are you kidding? Yeah.
And by the way, she came on because I literally slid into her DMs.
You did. I was
that's
like,
how it happens.
That was sick.
I was like, come on the show. You were like, okay. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you inspired me with the Mae Whitman thing. I was like, okay, this is how people do things, so I'm gonna do it.
Cool. That's how we do it now.
Yeah, it worked.
Yay.